What it do, bruh? Talk of the town, Nintendo, Doc Trey still holding it down, still make the best games, and you know this, bro. It's the truth. If you don't like it, you can have that seatbelt.
Alright, so it looks like we are in for a Nintendo Direct this month, the month of July. But before we get things started, we're still on the road to 20,000 subscribers. So if you're into Nintendo Switch 2 content and you're not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think about the video in the comment section. And if you like the video, hit that like. If you don't like the video, hit that like. But anyway, so it looks like there will in fact be a Nintendo Direct this July. I talked about this a couple weeks ago, or actually a few weeks ago, in video form here, on the validity and if we should actually expect a Direct in July. And if you guys remember, I said, yeah, I'd bet money on it. Well, it looks like the doctor could be on the money again, because Nate the Hizzle says that he's hearing that there will be a Direct this month after the launch of Donkey Kong Bonanza this Thursday. So, yeah, looks like the rumors were true. The leaks were true. Like I said before in my video on this topic, there was no way that pretty much there wasn't going to be a Direct this July, because there's no way they were going to wait all the way till September to have a Direct. There's too many games coming out for the Switch 2, even just from third parties, that they have to market. There was no way there were not going to be a Nintendo Direct very soon. This is pretty much probably what the traditional June Direct would have been, but because the Nintendo Switch 2 launched in June, that pushed everything back. Just like how the Switch 2 Direct was in April, and normally we would have a Direct around February. So everything is like a month or two off, a month or two pushed back from where it would normally be had there not been a new system dropping. But there's too many games coming out in July, August, September for them to wait all the way. They're not going to wait all the way until September to have a Direct showcasing games that came out in July. Like that doesn't make sense. They have agreements with these third-party partners to market their games coming to the Switch 2, and it's also in Nintendo's best interest to do so. The more the games sell on the system, the better it is for Nintendo, whether it's first party or third party. And having a very healthy third party saturation on the Switch 2 is only going to help Nintendo and only going to help third parties. So we don't know if this Direct is going to be a first party focused Direct or maybe even a partner Direct. I think it's going to lean heavily into third party games, meaning I think there's going to be a lot more third party games shown during this Direct than first party, for sure. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to be a traditional Nintendo Direct, but I just think this is going to be a very third-party heavy Direct because of the games that we know about that don't have release dates, and also the games that are rumored. So Nate also touches upon something that I've been telling you guys for the last few months, when you guys are asking me like, well, where are these supposed third-party games that are supposed to come to the Switch 2? How come they're not announcing them yet? This is on purpose. This is a strategic thing. Strategic. So these third parties are purposely holding on to the announcement of these games, and some of these games actually come out very soon, and they're doing that on purpose to maximize the hype and the sales potential. doesn't make sense to announce a gazillion games all at launch, especially ones that aren't coming out at launch, because people will hold off buying certain games because there might be another game out that interests them more, and they'll wait. Oh, I'm not going to buy Cyberpunk because I need to save money for Call of Duty. Oh, I'm not going to buy this because I need to save for that. So they want people to buy the games that are out now and then worry about the new games later. And that's pretty much that's how you do it. It's how Nintendo does it with their first party games. Like, they don't announce a gazillion first party games all at once. Well, not usually. When they do that, and they're in well, actually, it doesn't matter if Nintendo does that, because the Nintendo first party games are gonna, for the most part, sell anyway. So it doesn't matter. They can announce 200 games tomorrow, and they'll still all sell. Third parties, people are a little bit more picky with that, especially if they're ports of games that aren't necessarily new. And then, third party games, for the most part, those are games that have price drops pretty fast, really fast sometimes, and Nintendo games not so much. So sometimes people don't want to buy a lot of third party games day one because it doesn't always make sense, because they drop in price really fast. But in Nintendo's case, though, I think that depends on the game. Like, if it's a game, if it's a game that's never hit a Nintendo system before, maybe it's not a good idea to wait for a price drop, because they might think that you're not interested in the game. But anyway, so I expect a lot of these rumored games to finally be announced at this Direct. Because if they're not announced at this Direct, that means that either these games aren't coming out until the very end of the year, or they're not coming out this year. I expect them to announce pretty much most of the games that are coming out at least between now and September, and maybe some of October. And then probably the September Direct, or whatever ends up happening then, that's when you get maybe more of the holiday games or the early 2026 games. But yeah, very interesting. We're finally getting that Nintendo Direct. In hindsight, it didn't really make sense to expect a Direct announcing a bunch of games right before Donkey Kong even becomes available. But I mean, it's happened before with games, but Donkey Kong isn't exactly one of those super top selling Nintendo IPs, so waiting until after the game's released to announce a bunch of games is probably a smart idea. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Do you guys still doubt that there will be a Direct this month? Nate is pretty much, when it comes to his sources, he's pretty dead on. It's very rare that he is wrong, and even the times where he was supposedly wrong, it was because some information pretty much changed at the last minute. He makes sure that he has accurate information. So if he's hearing about a Direct and talking about the Direct, especially with how he handles news now, it's probably coming very soon. Like, it's probably next week. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section.